Hello again, this is Bill Jones with recapturefederalism.com. Today's discussion is titled Echo of History NSA Military Officers, quote, just following orders, unquote. This is about the recent scandal, or I like to call not scandal, but criminal activity, in this case involving the NSA. And I take a different approach than other people. And let me explain what my observations and perceptions are regarding this whole matter. Did you ever wonder where we get the ideas regarding conduct of soldiers and military officers, and what kind of conduct they should have in a free society? Well, it comes from Luke 3, verse 14, when John the Baptist is baptizing people. Tax collectors come to him. And then there were soldiers that come to him. Verse 14, and the soldiers also asked him, saying, what shall we do? And he said to them, do not molest any man, and do not accuse any man. Your own wages should be enough for you. And that's what soldiers and military officers should do. They shouldn't loot people. They shouldn't mistreat prisoners. They shouldn't follow unlawful orders, especially orders that are contrary to the Constitution of the United States. And then comes the military officer's oath of office. I, state your name, have been appointed an officer in the individual military branch of the United States as indicated above in the grade of, whatever. Do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to same, that I take this obligation freely and without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office upon which I am about to enter. So help me God. And that begs the question, doesn't it? Officers at the NSA violating gross violations of the Fourth Amendment, a betrayal to all the veterans who've served in this country, just harvesting information from people, not going through a judge, specifically stating that. And we'll get into that a little bit. Not only the U.S. Constitution, but the constitutions of the 50 constitutional republics. They violate those also, some of which are very, very specific, and the specific violations. Well, then, let's not forget about the civilian people who take oaths, the federal oath for those working for the government in a public official's capacity. The civilians there at the NSA, they have a very similar oath. They have the same obligation. And then, of course, that's an obligation to carry out the orders, lawful orders. And anytime you get to unlawful orders, you know, that's like similar to what the Nazi officers did and others, Soviets. And they have an order. They say they're just following orders. If it's an unjust order, they're obligated not to follow it in the United States. We not only have violations of the U.S. Constitution, the Fourth Amendment, but when you get into the individual states, the 50 constitutional republic, in the free independent states, they each have constitutions. All of the Bill of Rights in all of those states is a restatement of the basic human rights that American citizens have, and the citizens in the independent, free states, the constitutional republics. I use Illinois because I ratified this with other citizens of Illinois in 1970. Bill of Rights, Section 1, inherent and inalienable rights. All men are by nature free and independent and have certain inherent and inalienable rights, among which are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. To secure these rights and the protection of property, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governor. The consent of the governor. Have the people been surveyed, asked? Do they give consent to give up all their information to military officers and civilian people employed by the people themselves? The government is the people. They have not given consent to giving up their information. This is the consent of the people, is what's in the Constitution and the Basic Bill of Rights. Section 2, due process and equal protection. No person shall be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor be denied the equal protection of the laws. So those civilians, officers at the NSA just come in and grab up information, taking property, coming in. You'll love the next one, though. The Basic Bill of Rights. Section 6 corresponds with, but is in more detail than the Fourth Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. The Illinois Constitution, Section 6 of the Bill of Rights. These are basic human rights of all citizens, by the way, of all citizens of all states. Section 6, searches, seizures, privacy, and interceptions. Notice the word interceptions there. You don't have that in the federal, but it is a basic right. The people, this is the people, okay? Not the government, but the people shall have the right to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and other possessions against unreasonable searches and seizures, invasions of privacy, and interceptions of communications by eavesdropping devices or other means. No warrant shall issue without probable cause, supported by affidavit particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. And here comes the NSA, military officers invading, for instance, right now, coming in and collecting interceptions of what I'm saying right now, without any search warrant, without any affidavit telling me that I'm being searched and persons or things to be seized, to take them and stuff them into a master database in Utah. Who are these people to do that? They're violating constitutional rights of every citizen. They're violating their oath. They perjured themselves. Maybe there should be a tribunal, mass court-martials of the officers, trials for the civilians who have violated their oath of office. It is treason, I might add. They're overthrowing the people, which is the government of the United States. And it is official misconduct. Yes, official misconduct. And what is official misconduct? According to the Black's Law Dictionary here, a term that is applied to the misbehavior and unlawful acts committed by a public official while performing his duties. We have the officers. We have civilians who've taken oaths. Oh, let's not forget about the President of the United States and the congressmen and senators They're the ones who allocated money and funds to pay for these programs. They didn't know about them. They know all about them. They know all about them. They too have taken oaths, and they too are performing an official misconduct. Oh, and official misconduct, what is that? That's sort of like it's misgoverning. It's a verb. Just look at the areas. Boy, doesn't this sound just like our representatives? Misgovern, it's a verb. Administer badly. Administer improperly. Administer poorly. Govern badly. Maladminister. Manage badly. Misdirect. Misguide. Mismanage. Misrule. Rule dishonestly. That just covers about everything they do now, doesn't it? Now let's summarize what's going on here with the NSA. And this is just one area. We have gross violations of American humanity. So many different departments. And we can go on down the line. You can do one a day for a long time just talking about these different subjects. But let's just summarize this one. We have men, military and civilian, violating oaths, committing criminal acts against the whole of the American society, crimes against the American humanity. What we need is some court-martials, some trials, indictments. Not just of Mr. Snowden, who I personally view as a dissident. Not just him, but let's do it. Everybody that is responsible for violating the law, the Constitution, and the NSA. Congressmen, senators, president, head of the Department of Homeland Security. Big name, why don't you just call it what it is, the National Police. It's time. It's time to purge the system of these criminals. The people need to act in a nonviolent fashion. Take action against these criminals. Till the next time, have a nice day.